Alrighty, we have finished letting the noise removal tool get rid of the noise in the background. And I want to come in right now before we go any further and save the project once again. Keyboard shortcuts are available. The Option S on Apple or Control S on a PC is what I will use a lot more than using the cursor keys. Now I have been noticing with this particular version of Audacity, which was just released this week, it's one of the beta versions, that at least on the Mac here I'm getting a lot of loop playback that I'm really not intending to have when I'm using the keyboard spacebar and so on. So I'm going to try to use the mouse a little more often than I usually do. So we have the noise that's been removed. The next thing that I want to do is trim the beginning and the end, the extraneous material that we don't need to hear, that I don't want to have people hear at the beginning. So I use the zoom in tool and go back to the beginning. Again, keyboard shortcuts will get me back there sooner. Now, I forgot to mention this. When the program first opens, the normal default is that this bar, which is the selection tool, as it says here, will come up as the option. The selection tool is what I use, and the cursor will be this. If you change to one of the other tools, come down here, you'll see that the cursor changes. And there are a number of tools here that you can find out in Audacity tutorials or by working with them. So this is what we use for selections. When I chose the background noise, the noise sample that I wanted removed, I took that period of silence and I just used the selection tool to get to it. Right now I'm going to eliminate this early material. Let's go back to the beginning actually, though, let's hear about it. And we should be there. Oh, we're going to read from the late point. Let's go back. Stop. That's what I've got to get used to. I hate to admit it, but you do more editing on the PC than on the Mac. So let's see what we play here.
Okay, we are recording. Before I start the opening, just maybe 10 seconds of room tone, and we'll get going.
And we shouldn't have that echo effect now. I put on headphones to try to eliminate that. Alrighty, so it played that selection. What I'm going to do is eliminate that little bit of here's what it is at the beginning, but I want to leave some extra for fade in or something. I don't want to cut right up to the start of the next spoken part, which I happen to know what it is. Or if I didn't, I would listen first. So I select the portion to be deleted. Notice that I'm in stereo mode, 2-track, and a little later on as we edit each track I'm going to do something else. But I select the part to be deleted, can go down to edit, and either click on cut when I'm doing editing. Normally use keyboard shortcuts. Here on the Mac it's the Option X key. On the PC, on a Windows machine, it would be a Control X, and then right next to it is Option Z or Control Z to undo the edit that I just did. But for right now, just want to go ahead and cut it out, and you'll see that we're at the beginning. All right, which is probably the beginning. Let's play what we've got.
This is Spirit and Life, the Franciscan Conferences podcast.
And that's the beginning of the podcast. Notice there is some noise in the background. We're sitting there, and that's okay. So we're okay for the beginning. Go back. So I will drag the waveform over to the end, and we'll pick a point here and hopefully play from here.
University of Steubenville. Again, visit us online at www.franciscanconferences.com. And be sure to join us for the next edition of our podcast. God bless you. How many more times?
So there are some extra things there. We gave the web address quite a bit at the end of this particular podcast, more than usual, because I was breaking away from the standard script. So that's why I mentioned how many times can we give the web address. So I just want to give a feel for the ending here. God bless you is the last part that we'll want to include in there.
University of Steubenville. Again, visit us online at www.franciscanconferences.com. And be sure to join us for the next edition of our podcast. God bless you. How many more?
Well, you want to hear what that is? I would if I were watching this.
How many more times can we give the web address?
Okay, we really did outdo ourselves there. But I'm going to get rid of that last part first, the how many more times. That's certainly not going to be in the final piece. Notice that I can resize the area that's being selected, and then again going up here to edit or using the keyboard shortcut, cut it out. So that has been eliminated. I noticed something here. The waveform is telling me that perhaps I smacked my lips or there was another noise. I'm going to want that cut that out, but I need to have everything not end abruptly. So that's why I left this silence period here. Listen carefully.
Our podcast. God bless you.
There was, I don't know if that was my lips or not. Sometimes in the software there are little aberrations. So I'm going to go ahead and select that portion, edit, cut it out, and see if it's clean.
Our podcast. God bless you.
Okay, got some breath there, and this is more than, oh, okay. And I'm going to go ahead now. I have cut the beginning and the end out. Go ahead and save the project once again.